Okay, this is section 11.5 for chapter 11. We are going to finish up our volume equations today. So we have done prisms and cylinders. Okay, so the cone formula is 1/3 pi r squared times height. So it is the same as cylinder. The only difference is that there is a 1/3 in front of it. Okay, and then our pyramid formula is going to be the same as prism, except there's a 1/3 in front of that. So we've got 1/3 BH, and that is the same for this pyramid. And then our sphere formula is a little weird, so it is 4/3 pi r cubed. Make sure you put a 3 there, because that will make a difference in your answer. So that is the formulas we're going to use today. All right, so let's go to page 11 of your notes. Okay, so we're going to start with finding volume of these pyramids. So our volume equation is 1/3 area of the base times the height. So we already know our height. Our height is 14. So then we just need to know the area of the base. Our base is a square, and so we have 6 times 6, which is going to be 36. Okay, we'll plug those in. 1/3 times 36 times 14. And I'm going to type that all into my calculator. So 1/3 times 36 times 14 is 168 centimeters cubed. Okay, let's try another one. So volume of a pyramid, 1/3 BH. So 8 is our height. So we already know that. And then our base is a triangle, and it is a right triangle. So we're going to have 1/2, 3 times 9 to find the area of that base. So that is going to be, let's see, 3 times 9 divided by 2 is 13.5 for our B. Okay, and then we plug our two numbers into our formula. And then type that in your calculator. So our volume is 36 centimeters cubed. Okay, the next question looks like we skipped question 3, but question 4 is asking for the error. So if you look at the very first line, we have 1/2, 49 times 10. Looks like they got 49 from 7 times 7, so that looks fine. 10 is the height, so that looks fine. So the problem is right there with that 2. That should be a 1/3, not a 1/2. Okay, so they just wrote the formula down wrong. Okay, question 5 is cones. So our cone formula is 1/3 pi r squared times height. So we need a couple things here. We need the radius, which is 3, and then we also need the height, which we do not have. So you know the drill. We're going to use Pythagorean theorem. 3 squared plus height squared equals 5 squared. Okay, and then solve your Pythagorean theorem. So our height is 4. Okay, and then plug all that in. Our radius was 3 squared. Our height is 4. And then type that into your calculator. So I'm going to round that to 37.7 meters cubed. Okay, number 6 is another cone, so our formula is 1/3 pi r squared height. So our radius is 1/2 of 6, so our radius is 3. We already know our height of 3. Okay, and then type all that into your calculator. So we've got 1/3 pi times 3 squared times 3, which I'm going to round to about 28.3 centimeters cubed. Okay, and that's how you find volume of a cone. Alright, so let's move on to the next page. Okay, number 7, describe and correct the error. So it looks like they do have the 1/3, and then we have pi radius squared. The radius is 9, so that should all be fine. And then this 15, so this 15 is the slant height. So this is going to be the problem because we actually need the perpendicular height. Okay, so that should be what the perpendicular height is, not what the slant height is. Okay, number 8, we are given the volume of the pyramid and we are looking for x, and x represents the height. So let's copy down the pyramid formula. 1/3 b times h. So I'm going to plug 200 into v. And then our base area is 10 times 10, so 100. And then x is our height. Okay, so then 1/3 of 100, we can figure out what that is. So 100 divided by 3 is 33.3x. And then we want one more step to get x by itself. We're going to divide both sides by 33.3. So we've got 200 divided by 33.3 gives us about 6 for the height of that pyramid. Okay, and then I'm going to skip number 9 for now and go on to spheres. So we've got a soccer ball. A soccer ball has a diameter of 9 inches. Okay, so that means my radius is going to be half of 9, which is 4.5. Okay, and our formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. So plug in your radius. And then we are ready for the calculator. So we've got 4/3. Notice I typed that into parentheses to represent a fraction. And then pi, and then 4.5. And then here's where you have to use the little caret button. And that caret button is that little arrow that points up. So I need to push that to move my cursor up and type in a 3. And that will give me what the volume is of the soccer ball. So our volume is 381.7 inches cubed. Okay, number 11 is another sphere. So this line goes all the way across. So our radius is half of 18.3. So 9.15. Okay, so here's our formula. So our radius is 9.15 cubed. And then type that into your calculator. Okay, I made a little mistake. Whoops. There we go. So our volume of this sphere is 3,208.9 meters cubed. Okay, then we have one more question. Describe and correct the error in finding the volume of a sphere with a diameter of 16 feet. So we got 4/3 pi r squared. All right, so if we compare that to our formula from up here, there's one little thing that's wrong. So this should be a 3, not a 2. So that kind of messed up the rest of their problem, but that is what you would do to fix that. Okay, so that is section 11.5.